Hey everyone, this is Alex Horley, again coming to you from Virtual Expedition 42, where no expedition has gone before. Thank you everyone. Oh my gosh, that makes me the happiest person in the world. I'm smiling a lot right here. So today is the last day for Expedition, Virtual Expedition. We've done 3 weeks of content, and everyone's been kind enough to join us and be a part of it, so thank you for that. Today we figured we would finish Expedition the way that every expedition finishes on a Friday, which is with a sing-along. So in the comment section of wherever you're watching shortly will be a PDF you can download. It has all the lyrics that we're going to be using today. We're going to be singing 5 songs, and then if there's time at the end, we might be able to have some time for requests as well. So we're excited, this is going to be great. So I am joined by a couple of wonderful expedition singers, both here in the room with me and brought in. I'll bring one in just a second virtually. But moving around, let's get to know our expedition singers. So, first expedition singer, I'm sure everyone knows, very familiar, even with the face mask on. Brad Guthrie. Hello, thanks for being here.
It's good to be here.
Miss Rosa Hall in the back. And Miss Monica Newman over here. So we are all being social distancing here at City Hall. You guys can see the Basilosaurus hanging out with us. Acoustics are great. This is going to be perfect for a sing-along. And we are also joined by, oh, that did not work out as well as I wanted. Todd Lester. Hi, Todd.
Hey, everybody.
So Todd is going to be singing along with us as well, and we will be following the musical direction of Mr. Brian. He's going to be great and help us with guitar, and the rest of us are going to sing out of key and horribly, because that's just how things go at Expedition. Right, singers?
That's what we did.
Yes. So, if you guys are familiar, how do you think? Look, familiar with that? So these are the songbooks that we normally use. The PDF that's in the description and the comments below in the video are scans of this. So you guys can be singing with us from the actual Expedition songbook, which is exciting. As you guys know, if you were here at Expedition the last couple of years, especially, depending on which one you get, depends on whether or not you get the lyrics to the songs we're going to sing. So thankfully tonight everyone has all of the lyrics to the songs we're going to sing. Todd, you have your lyrics too, right?
Do what?
Do you have your lyrics for the songs?
Yeah, I got them pulled up.
Okay, excellent. So, oh, there it is. So in the comment section, the PDF just got added in. So if you guys would like to access the songbook that we're using today, go ahead and check out in the comments. Give everyone a second to do that. I'm going to go ahead and get myself settled. We'll let the singers get settled before we get started. Let everyone get a chance to access those songbooks, and then we're going to sing a little bit, and then maybe share some stories, and sing a little bit more, and share some stories. And just have an Expedition Friday night, like we normally do.
Well, before we get started,
Yeah.
we need to make sure we have our bug spray on.
Absolutely, that's great.
Does everybody have their paper plate, stylized fan to stay cool? And Allie, if the horse flies by you,
Yes?
here's your swatter.
Thank you. I need them because we all know that horseflies find me delicious.
Yes. Yep, you weren't the only one.
Yes. I think I was telling, I know I told everyone online too, but when I went down to the kitchen for a video this week, or I don't even know, time doesn't mean anything anymore. But, and when I got down there, the minute I got out of my car, a horsefly got stuck underneath my shirt and bit me 3 times.
Oh.
And it was just, I was like, you know what? If I'm not out in the field, at least the field can come to me.
I'll get you one way or the other.
It'll happen, yeah. Expedition will happen no matter what. So, well, looks like we got a really great crowd joining us, which is exciting.
Good.
Yay! As much as we would love to be able to sing with these masks on, I think that would be nearly impossible.
Do we have to sing on key?
Absolutely not. Definitely if you guys are watching with us, go ahead and comment where you're watching from, so we know who's with us, and faces and things like that. And say hello. It looks like we're all settled, so hopefully you guys are settled and have had a chance to click on that PDF for the Songbook. Elizabeth Gowan said, shouldn't there be a lantern or two sitting around? Absolutely. We'll just pretend that this is the lantern. I don't know. Sorry, guys. All right. It looks like giving everyone enough time to kind of check in and that. So let's go ahead and get started. I think our very first song will be, which one are we singing first?
The Wreck of the Fussahatchee Wet Screen.
Wreck of the Fussahatchee Wet Screen. Everyone get to that part. It's highlighted in that PDF, and it is a two-part one. So it's the page that's highlighted on, and then the last little bit is the page right after. Okay, here goes nothing.
And I'll just go ahead and kind of intro this a little bit first. Please. And just want to say that all the songs, of course, that we're singing tonight, and the vast majority of the songs in the Museum Expedition Dig Song Anthology were penned by our late good friend, Bob Pasquale. And I counted up how many songs Bob wrote over the years, and he wrote no less than 24 expedition songs. So I'm in the process. I just want to make sure you guys know I'm in the process of scanning all of the songs, and we're going to upload them to a share drive, and maybe Allie will be able to put a link out there for everybody to have access to those songs if you would like to download them and save them on your computers. But we were certainly blessed with Bob's incredible wit and songwriting ability, and he was no shortage of entertainment, no doubt. The first song that we're going to be singing is The Wreck of the Fussahatchee Wet Screen. This hails from 1995, and it recounts the tale of a day when we had an interesting weather event that occurred, and all the things that resulted from that. But this was at a historic Creek Indian site on the Tallapoosa River. We were working with Auburn University and Auburn University Montgomery, Dr. Craig Sheldon and Dr. John Cottier, and this was definitely a memorable day. So this is to the tune of The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Most of Bob's songs were to the tunes of classic rock songs, for the most part. So, Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. All right, is everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The legend lives on from Tallapoosa down to the day the day was Fussahatchee. Forecast that day would
that was big like a break, only harder. Out in the day they were dancing the jig as they pulled pretty bead from the wet screen. And at the units they were calling it quits as the lightning and thunder grew louder.
The storm was intense as they ran to the
which was all they had to call shelter. And as the truck and the bus flew and the artifacts blew helter skelter. It's Dr. Sheldon was singing every screams as they flew by. And for a switch she jumped in the ditch as benches and tables they blew by. Yeah. Run like free rail runners, they had a pace slightly faster than jogging. And left a large lump on his noggin. And as the soldiers Dr. Cottier engaged, running around on his tractor.
Been here 10 years
And the rain they don't fear. As he said, the storm's not a factor.
And back at the camp, Rosa set things right, and Roy has lost his dark love. Amy and Anna arrived with the plans for the campers and staffers to haul in. The legend lives on from town to song down to the great pit that was who's hatched. Whether that day was approximately, they say, at 90 miles an hour.
Great, thank you.
And the weather people that day, we heard it on the radio. There was no TV. It was.
Well, we didn't have TV.
Yeah, we didn't have,
There was TV back then.
we didn't have air conditioning that day. But
We
it
did have air
was 90
conditioning. The
miles,
wind was blowing.
90 miles an hour. Clocked.
It was intense, definitely. But we all survived,
Intense.
even Brown.
And
It was, as we ran to the tents, it was intense.
You did have a lot.
So while we were there, we were being joined by Jim Hamilton from Boone, North Carolina.
Hey, Jim.
And Todd Prater, who says, play something I know. We're going, Todd. Todd, how did that go? Todd Hester, how did that go? It sounded
It
great.
went out.
You sounded great. I think it worked well with you and us singing at the same time.
Awesome. And then I can always mute it so I can just mouth the words and you don't hear me at all.
That's no fun. You got
Cheater.
a great voice. Okay, well, it looks like maybe on to the second song. What's our next song?
The brick song.
Yeah.
Expedition 20, week 2 of 2018.
Do you have any stories about this one?
What did I say?
You said 2 or 20.
I don't know.
Just 2 years ago.
2 years.
So this
was a big
postdated our tenure with the being on the expedition, but that day was led by George Shorter,
Who was?
and who also led the expeditions at Fort Morgan in '99 and again in 2000. And there were 2 expeditions also at
St. Stephen's?
3.
at St. Stephen's. There were 3 at St.
3 at St.
Stephen's,
Stephen's.
1 or 2 at Toulouse.
I think just one at
One at Toulouse.
Okay. And
Yeah.
did Shorter direct Toulouse or?
No.
No,
that
that
somebody
was
else?
Jim.
Okay.
Jim Parker, Craig Sheldon.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But Shorter did 3 of the digs at St. Stephen's,
Yeah.
2 of the digs at Fort Morgan.
Right.
Does George hold the record of scientific leadership?
And
I don't know.
He might, though.
We'll have to
He's got to be in the running at least.
go back and figure that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's gotta be close.
It's got to be, yeah. But
a lot of bricks.
there were a lot of bricks. There were a lot of bricks.
We know Brooks.
Some nearing whole, many fragments. But I feel like all of you guys understand that.
Did he have you weigh him?
Mhm.
He
And
loves.
by shade, I think.
Yes.
Which is also in a song. The
Yes.
bricks by shade.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think.
That
So there
was
was,
from
we
Morgan.
learned a lot there.
That was from Morgan.
Yeah, from Morgan.
Yeah.
Yes. We learned a lot though. about
Shorter like those historic sites with all the brick.
Yes. And
You're
there
gonna
was
make
no
us-
shortage.
You're gonna make us do what?
You want to shade it and weigh it?
We had so many bricks coming out of Fort Morgan that our first year, our wet screen got completely backed up.
Oh no.
And it was a major bottleneck there with all the
And
volume of brick
And
coming out.
measure them. They'd be measured, shaded, and did they have corners on them?
I think we had to I think it was like comparing sizes, if I remember correctly. So like ones that were the same size were in the same, or length were in the same pile. I don't know, to be honest. There was just a lot of bricks.
So to mitigate the mundane, monotonous task of having to do all this work in the lab, you had the wonderful Bob Paschal,
Yes.
who was there
The last
to
stuff.
not only educate everybody about what it was they were seeing and why it was they were doing all these seemingly pointless things that have scientific import, but then he would also use that lab time to pen wonderful songs that he would debut at the end of the week.
Yes.
So,
And
several great songs.
we were more than I can't even word honored isn't strong enough to have a song that was written about one of the experiences at the expedition, at one of our Todd and I's 10-year expedition. It was an honor to have them have this one as well as a couple others debuted that Friday. So
Well, this is a good one, and it's an a cappella song. It is to the tune of the Banana Boat song that you may recall by Mr. Harry Belafonte. And so I think we can just probably snap our rhythm. And there's a chorus, horsefly bite and me want to go home. And so, yeah, we could use the board rattle there. That would work well as a good timekeeper.
So just so you guys all see, we came up with expedition musical instruments, which is obviously the guitar, and then a bowl and a spoon, a Folgers cup and a brush, and a board. Just making things work. And then Todd's beautiful melodic voice.
La 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 la.
We appreciate you, Todd.
Okay.
All right, shall we count it off?
Yes. Todd, do you remember this one?
Oh yeah.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Come, Mr. Shoulder, tally up the big flags. Fly
Bye
by
bye and me want to go home.
out of old St. Stephen's expedition for horse fly
Bye
by
bye and me wanna go home.
Please,
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 oh, pretty please, pretty please, pretty please. Oh.
go home. At the Douglas Hotel, Alabama began. Horsefly bite and me one go home. Lorenzo Dow said this town was a town. Horsefly bite and me one go home. Please, oh pretty please, pretty please, pretty please, I bite and me one go home. 1 brick, 2 brick, 3 brick, 4. Horsefly bite and me one go home. Tom Beckley Bank even has some more. Horsefly bite me and me one go home. Keep on digging till your knees get sore. Horsefly bite and me one go home. We just cleared off the structure's floor. Horsefly bite and me one go home. Hey, Mr. Shoulder, what's next to explore? Horsefly bite and me one go home. Please, oh pretty please, pretty please, pretty horsefly bite and me wanna go home. Horsefly bite and me
Me
wanna
wanna go home.
It's very accurate. That just brings back a lot of memories. All right, let me check our comments real quick and see if anyone said anything.
How great is it? Beetlejuice a couple of times.
I never think about that song.
That's the only time I know to think of that song.
Todd, what do you think? You remember all those bricks?
I remember very clearly singing that at skit night with me, Bob, Keenan, Elizabeth, and Megan. I think. No, Elizabeth wasn't there, but Megan and you, and
It was a staff song.
Swiss Bagel. Swiss Bagel was with us.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we had a staff member whose last name was Switzgable, but we couldn't say it, so we called him Swiss Bagel.
Swiss bakery. Is Kelly Bright on there?
Kelly, I haven't seen Kelly.
Oh, Bright Whitlock?
Yeah,
Whitlock.
Yeah,
but I know she's been on a lot of ours. So.
yeah, she has.
She will definitely know bricks from Fort Morgan.
Yes,
That's from-
yes.
Joy Thompson will too, because I think this is the beginning of the start of his hernia.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Is that TM I'm on?
that's surgery for it.
I I think there was a common theme with George Shorter expeditions on bricks. I
Yeah.
think
He's consistent.
George Shorter was there. It's bricks. Bricks all over.
Consistent as bricks.
Morgan, Stevens, yep.
Orchid breeder, is that
Orchid
right?
breeder.
Yes, he's orchid
Orchids
breeder.
and bricks.
Yep.
I'm sure there's more to George than that. There is a lot more to George than that, but there seem to be major interests in it.
All right, so what's our next song going to be?
So we chose as our next song on Expedition 23, which dates from the last expedition that I led, which was at Moundville in 2001. And this is to the tune of Year of Jubilee. And that year we were, I guess that was I guess we worked subsequently with Dr. Knight again, I think in 06.
We had done it before you were expedition leader.
In 92.
Then we did it this year, and then the next year was with Dr. John
Blitz, that's right. Okay. So this, I guess, was the last time that we were with Dr.
201,
Jim Knight.
23 was Jim Knight.
And so that was a really special summer. Any summer is special with Dr. Knight because he's just an amazing archaeologist to work with and does a wonderful job with the participants. But we were on Mound V, which is just north of Mound B, the big mound at Moundville. And it wasn't until, I guess, maybe the second or the beginning of the third week when Dr. Knight revealed what it was that we had uncovered. Second week. And as it turned out, it was, I think, basically an earth lodge, which or a semi-subterranean structure that dated from very, very late in Moundville's occupation, and was apparently the only structure of its kind that, at least at that time, had ever been found in Alabama. So we all felt pretty special that we were participating.
Well, I want to give credit to the university's field school that Jim led, and they had done some work on the other end that ended up being a CCC kind of dump, and then they moved down.
Yeah.
He suspected something was somewhere on that flat, and they had dug the fall before. And the first weeks, people didn't get quite far enough
That's right.
to dig. And then when you're about to sing it, when it turns, we had promised everybody that when it turned, we would call them. There were no cell phones in. We would have to go to the office and call and tell them if Bob turns, you'll
The
know
big
what it
orange
means.
blob.
But you'll know what it means. And we left messages or got in touch with them. And we said, Bob has turned. And then the next week, we got statewide news coverage on it. So
Yeah, so it was a big deal. So this is on Expedition 23. Excuse me. Say, Baba, have you seen the diggings and the doings in the ground? These folks have done what they found. They say they've dug some areas and tons of pottery. They tell me that they're here to learn all about archaeology. They're digging at Mount B, it's right behind me. It's time to stop at a big orange spot, Expedition 23. This thing they found at the Moundville Mounds was built historically. It's a big orange spot that they called Bob, it was a mystery. Dr. Knight was right there pondering, but thought that it was nice. So he took a chance and he did a dance to the tune of Edelweiss. They're digging at Mount B, they're right behind Mount B. This time's up down at a big orange spot, Expedition 23. In the planet's never Travis, they watch it soar on the cloud. It's kind of strange how Professor Strange is an awful lot like Bob. Bob's full of facts and the artifacts, and he has some wondrous things. I'm feeling that he's full of something, just what we cannot say. They're digging at Mount B, it's right behind Mount B. There's tons of dog and a big orange ball, Expedition 23. Oh, digging at Mount B, it's right behind Mount B. But all this talk is a total crock. They were
Built by the sea.
You know the best part? I think that is maybe the second time I've ever heard that song, like with the guitar and everything. It's so nice all together. I love it. I love it.
That's a fun song.
Also, I love that it's just got so much Bob character in it.
Yeah. Little autobiographical there on Bob's part, which was nice.
Wasn't nice.
And Bill Boomer mentioned that CNN did a story on the Earth Lodge.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Cool.
So the big orange blob was the puddle clay floor.
It was,
Yeah, it was
The ramp coming.
outer
Excuse me.
outer wall.
The outer wall. Yeah.
And
the waddling dog was on top of it. Is that how it was?
yeah, and as it turned,
The roof essentially was a kind of a conical thing that sat on that clay wall.
Yeah.
That's right.
that was part of the wall of this low to the earth. And there was an entranceway, and that first week finished doing that. And Jim had told me at camp, he said, when you come over today for fruit break, I want you to look where there's two ladies there. And he said, where they're digging. And I want you to see what they're doing, because this is an entrance. Because he told me before, he said, this is an entrance to an earth lodge, like at Old Mulgee in Macon, Georgia. And I said, because he always kidded me. I said, are you kidding? He said, no, I'm serious. So when I went over there, I could see what he was talking about. It was obvious what they were doing.
Yeah.
And then Friday night, before everybody left,
Yeah.
he drew it. He told them what Earth Lodge was. Later, we found the center post and where it was burned. Dr. Jones was there that week and described the wood. It kind of, I'm not to say crystallized, but it burned so hot, it turned it into something. And he recognized what that was and said, this is from the burning.
Yeah.
Somebody, when you heat it so high that the wood would
Actually changes the structure of the
change
wood.
the structure of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he recognized what that was and explained it to everybody with it, because he was there with his granddaughter. Fabulous. That was,
spectacular.
And it was apparent, at least according to Dr. Knight, that the building was essentially shut down, as they oftentimes were, essentially closed and burned deliberately. In the middle of the floor, we found a single solitary pot about the size of your palm, and under that pot was a braided cord and an acorn that could be carbon dated. And the cord apparently represented an umbellus, the acorn represented a seed, and that apparently, I guess, in the sort of cosmology, represented rebirth in life. And so it was amazing to see those organic artifacts that were
Incredible.
500 years old.
and
Yes.
it had if you know about archaeology, it had a strap.
It had straps all the way around it,
All the way
Yeah.
around it,
Yeah.
and upside down,
Well-
not a very big one.
almost like handles that you could put.
And then it survived the burning, the falling of the center, the big post that was up, and the roof coming down, and there it was.
And time. I mean, just time.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know. So
Amazing.
Expedition's the coolest.
Anna found it.
Oh my gosh. All right.
All right,
so,
next one here.
Yeah, what's our next song?
All right, we've got Latrine Blues. So once upon a time, I don't think in recent years the latrines had been dug. But back in the
Time has passed.
back in the olden days, we used to, as part of our necessary camp setup, dig latrines, one on the guy's side of the camp, one on the girl's side of the camp. And it involved post-hole diggers and usually a lot of sweat, a little bit of blood, and sometimes a lot of tears. And most often, latrines round about the middle of the dig had to be redug somewhere else because you would have exceeded the capacity of the first one. So this song is about a particular latrine that we dug at Fussahatchee in 1995
On a Sunday morning.
on a Sunday morning before everybody was showing up. So not a great way to feel fresh and alive before everybody gets there.
This is the
But
second one. The
and it was
first
a
one
hot, it was a hot morning. So myself, Danny Curtis, and Brown Hawkins were out trying to punch this latrine in. And at Fusahachie, the site sits upon a terrace above the Tallapoosa River floodplain. And there's a layer of clay, or clay loam, that sits on top of the terrace. But you get down to a certain point and you hit sand. In the other latrine that we dug, we hit sand about 3 feet down. And so we thought when we got to this one, oh, this is going to be a breeze because sand is really easy to dig through, clay not so much. So for some reason, this particular spot that we had chosen, we never hit sand. And so it was a miserable latrine digging experience. So I'll tell you a little bit more about it when we're done with the song. Here. This is to the tune of Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone by Billy. For those of you sort of Motown and rhythm and blues fans out there. So, all right. Ain't no sand down in the soul. Nothing but lay down in the soul. For some sand outside my soul, I'm digging like a mole. Ain't no sand down in the soul. I hope this doesn't sound too good to me, but I'm tired of this latrine. It's the hardest thing I've ever seen. Think I've ruptured my spleen. Ain't no sand down in the soul. If they've got to take the lead, they can run down to the creek. They can wait until next week. They can turn the other. Ain't no sand down in this hole. Don't get deep down as you please. Sweat enough to fill the seas. When I got down on my knees, I heard some me. Ain't no sand down in this hole. I'm so tired, I think I'll quit. 6 feet is all. This latrine this camp is all up. Ain't no sand down in this hole.
Normally that would be a triangle for Rosa, but we're improvising
Sorry, no
today.
triangles at the moment. I apologize.
So quick explanation there. Because this hole had nothing but clay in it, we said, by gum, we're not digging another one of these. And so we truly did put it 6 feet down and belled it out about 4.5 feet. And so we did not have to dig another latrine on that side of camp the whole dig. So we were proud of it once we were done.
So this song went out of use for a while when I took the reins, and when Bob started coming back at Gulf Shores, he always asked, "Why are y'all not singing the latrine song?" And so we brought it back, and none of the kids knew what we were talking about, and so we had to explain what a latrine was and the fact that we had to dig it, and they were like, "No, we're good. No, we're good."
Yeah, we'll stick with our porta potties for right now.
Party's much easier.
Right now we're in the porta potty land.
Although there is nothing like sitting on the latrine looking at the stars.
The ventilation's a lot better too.
It had a curtain around it. It had a curtain around
Right.
it, well, doorway thing. But it was open, and so the participants would say, "Why do you never take an umbrella to the latrine?" And I said, "I'm not in there that." And it doesn't bother me, but the stars at night, it was pretty cool.
So, yeah, maybe, no, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna bring it back. Okay.
Especially not in the black belt.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, that's where you have to get the pry bar out and
Yeah.
basically chisel your way through the earth.
We broke one of those
Postal digger?
postal
Postal digger.
automatic battery powered, no,
Auger.
auger.
Yeah.
It didn't work either.
And word to the wise, chalk in the black belt or chalk anywhere doesn't perk. And so the latrine gets used up fairly quickly. You have to dig a new one. It's tough.
So I'm thinking sometimes it's nice to have memories and not have to make new ones.
Yes.
That's okay. Things can evolve.
Yeah.
You know, there's always the old timers used to do, you know.
We can relegate that to back in our day.
When I was a young person.
The last time we used them was, well, the first time that we went to porta potties was at the first year at St. Stephen's,
Was it really? Okay.
because the town is just,
No, we had them at Fort
Well, we had
Morgan.
them at Fort Morgan.
We had them at Fort
Well, at Fort
Morgan.
Morgan.
That was the first,
That was the
which is
first time.
great because you could open the door and look at the belly.
yes, because it was hot, but we
It's
had,
important to have scenic porta potty locations.
Yes.
yeah, because we had the, the
That helps.
tarp over the top of it to keep it cool,
Yeah.
but,
We call it the poo-poo fly.
The poo-poo fly.
It's the poo-poo
Listen.
fly. Right, Todd? The
Sounds like
poo-poo fly?
Poo-poo fly.
Apropos,
better than not having the fly.
For sure.
That's right. They can get hot. All right.
Okay.
Last song in the set.
Yes.
So this is All You Need Is Dob, to the tune of All You Need Is Love by four blokes from Liverpool named the Beatles. And so in addition to brick, Daub is at prehistoric Native American sites is this other ubiquitous red clay material that was used to build structures, just like bricks were used to build structures
That
in
could be
historic
different.
times. And so you find a lot of brick at historic sites, you find a lot of Daub at Native American sites as well. So we became big fans of Daub, certainly on years where we
This is 20th anniversary.
encountered Daub.
Making count.
And this was 1998, the Ebert Canebrake site, named in honor of Charles and Wileen Ebert. And so, yeah, that was 22 years
All
ago.
the things
Hard to
they
believe.
did for us.
So, all right, to the tune of All You Need Is Love. Here we go. If you want to build a house, maybe walls is nothing fuss. Split some cane, weave it through some posts. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need. The darkest fire in the conflagration, preserving the walls for excavation. An archaeologist then dedicated to delineate the base. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Dub is all you need. Dub is all you need. Dub is all you need. She loves you, yeah.
Dob, dob, dob.
That's one of my favorite part about the songs is trying to get the words to fit into the.
And some of them were like, really?
Bob loved to put some words
He did.
into each line, and so
Conflagration is in this song.
we'll
I know,
practice.
you really have to concentrate. And then the handwriting is like, what? Does that
Well,
work?
to be fair, we have it in the books if you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. But knowing kind of where the tempo hits is a little bit of a challenge, especially since it's been, I don't know how many years since I've sang these songs. So anyway, but I think we did a good job
I think it was great. We did a good job.
What a Friday night.
for the most part. Yeah.
And I think there's another one of the songbooks. All you need is Bob. All you need is Bob. Is
Yes, we
Yes.
did that. Me and Kelly Bright. What's her last name now?
Whitlock. I
Whitlock.
think that's right.
We on our way to go get groceries because you're at Fort Morgan and you have to go all the way back. And we did that song together as we were doing.
No song had ever been written about Bob.
I mean, it's like Bob writes something about everybody else. I'm in 2 songs. I'm happy.
So, on the subject of Dobb,
Yeah.
would it be okay if I read Ode to Dobb real quick?
Yes, please.
To honor Bob, and so this would have been not Dr. Strange, not Professor Strange, but Dr. Dobb, who made an appearance.
His cousin.
His cousin, yeah, they're related. The Stranges, well, the Stranges and the Dobbs are
Yes.
related by ants or something. Okay, anyway, Dr. Dobb would make his appearance on Friday evenings, and if you never had a chance to see Dr. Dobb or Professor Strange, they were incredible characters, similar in many ways. They were related, but bow ties, usually a bow tie made out of flagging tape or some other high quality durable material. And
That you would find on the excavation site.
yeah, that was available, readily available. But so Dr. Dobb was a big fan of Dobb, and so here is his ode to Dobb, courtesy of Bob Pascal. And I'm not going to do the voice. I'm just going to read the poem because his voice, I'm not even going to try. But let me just tell you, it was wonderful. You can keep your Nuevo Cadiz bead. You can keep your Clarksdale bell. Here at 1MC25, the artifact we love so well is Dobb. Beautiful Dobb, plentiful Dobb. The Tunica treasure is fine, they say, and some nice stuff was found with King Tut. Rosetta Stone was interesting, and the Piltdown Man a hoax, but we got Dobb. Beautiful Dobb, plentiful Dobb. Now some prefer to find gold coins or the Atocha like Melfisha, and some prefer fluted paleo points, but if I had just one wish, sir, I'd take Dobb. Beautiful Dobb, plentiful Dobb. Thank you, Bob, for your appreciation of Dobb.
All right, I'm just coming to check
You
in.
want to do copyright? Sure.
Yes.
Aw.
Well, you did a Native American site. You have to do a paleontological site.
Could do that.
So there's a lot of talk here about how the trees should come back and how the kids are spoiled. There's also a lot of talk about how Bob has been on people's minds lately. And I
Yes.
think that this has been, I agree. It's tough to not have expedition season and not think about Bob. Would you agree, Todd?
Absolutely.
Can he do the,
I can do the other ode. That was Professor Strange.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, there's another one.
So this is the other half of the coin, shall we say? Paleontological focus. This was Professor Strange made his appearance in 2005. I don't know if he appeared again, but he came in 2005. First appeared in 1998. Appeared at subsequent expeditions, and then, but apparently,
Fort Morgan?
Dr. Dobb appeared in 98, came back in subsequent years, and Professor Strange showed up at Fort Morgan for the first time, I guess. Is that right? Yeah. So he came back in 2005 during the dig in Greene County and was inspired by the coprolites that he was seeing. So here goes Ode to Coprolites, to the coprolite. Today I found a coprolite, no bigger than my thumb. And as I held it in my hand, I pondered where it came from. What sort of ancient animal in the late Cretaceous seas had the skills to produce such beautiful artistry? I brought it to Dr. Lamb for further investigation. He told me coprolites told us much about diet and digestion. Not certain what that all meant, but eager to acquire the facts, Dr. Lamb just smiled his smile and said it came from a shark's lower tract. I thought I'd found a small pine cone until this scientific explanation. Dr. Lamb said it was actual evidence of some fossilized defecation. So now I discard those Incotus teeth, ignore the fragments of mosasaur. Turtle bones don't float my boat, and I leave steinkerns on the gully floor. the fossil for which I search, and let this be my final word. I search to find those coprolites, the Scapanarhynchus turd.
It's
Thank
the
you,
most
Bob.
beautiful thing. Thank you,
That
Bob.
was awesome.
Also, I personally have a coprolite collection that Bob and I discussed in the most recent expeditions. And Dr. Strange did come back to Todd. Can you help me? When did Dr. Strange come back? Was it last year or the year before?
It was the year before. We were at St. Stephen's.
We got a nice Dr. Strange visit because the kids hadn't had a chance to see Dr. Strange, and so Dr. Strange came to visit. I don't think we got Dr. Dobb though.
No, we didn't get Professor Dobb.
Professor Dodd, yes. But Dr. Strange was definitely there. I'm glad we got to meet him. We heard a lot about him. So,
He's a good guy.
well, should we, let me see what time we're at.
10 till, roughly.
Until, do you want to take a,
Request.
thank you, that's the word, request? Does anyone want to try to take a request? Does anyone have a request for a song? I'm trying to not, sorry, my face is all like that. If anyone has a request for a song, we can see if we can do it. I'm sure we can. Do you see, before and while we're waiting for this request, while you're at home, can we just give a big round of applause to all of our song singers and guitar players and all of our expedition song helpers,
Off-key
singers,
singers.
off-key singers, yes.
Can't strike a D7 on the guitar.
Hey, you know what? I don't even know what that means, so.
I barely do too. It's too bad we couldn't have Jim Hamilton here. He's a maestro.
Oh, or Joey Thompson.
Or Joey
This
Thompson.
is to you, Todd, that's your clap. Todd does an excellent dramatic reading of all the gullies.
Yeah.
Yes, Todd does an excellent dramatic reading of
Oh.
all the gullies I've explored.
Yeah.
He does, but I don't know
Yeah.
how that here.
I don't have a songbook, so I can't do it.
Oh,
Anyway, wait, Chloe? Yeah, I don't know if I can get it to you in time, Todd.
No, I could, you could
Can I
put
send
this
you a
in front.
picture of the songbook? Would you do it?
I'll never forget. I'll never forget though when I did that at Gulf Shores, and Bob was there because Bob would always sing it, you know, and he was like, I never thought. He was like, I really didn't know what to expect hearing you sing or say this dramatic reading, but I gotta say it was perfect. And to me, that was like the best validation I could ever get right there. The man himself said I did it a great job.
Todd, if I sent you a picture on your phone, would you be willing to do it, or would you rather save it for another time?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Here, let me send you a picture.
So this, we think, was the first expedition song that Bob penned. It came from Harrell Station, 1993. And at least in Bob's folder, we couldn't find any songs earlier than that. And I couldn't recall any before 93 as well. But Jim Hamilton was working on the dig that summer. And that was the summer that I picked up the guitar. But this is to the tune of all the Girls I've Loved Before by Willie Nelson and Julio Iglesias.
Yes.
And so Bob did a wonderful Willie, and Jim did a great Julio Iglesias with the accent and everything. And so that was a nice version, but I'm looking forward right now, Todd, to hearing your dramatic reading.
Did you get the picture, Todd?
Yeah, I got it.
Sorry to put you on the spot. Are you sure you're okay?
So I'll do it. So
We'll take
we
our
never-
time. I'll just have your face.
So we never did this with music because I didn't know how to play guitar, and when we took over, like nobody really played guitar, and so I always did this as a dramatic reading, and so it's I saw that it said to be sung in a really bad Spanish accent with apologies, so I would always do it in a Spanish accent, which always ended up being German and maybe a little bit Italian. So I apologize for my bad accents, but anyway, here we go. This is of all the gullies I've explored. Gotta get ready. Of all that I've explored, Harrell Station, I loved you more. And much to my delight, a shock coprolite, in parts of a mosasaur. Of all the fossils I have found, I found them lying on the ground, lying at my feet, dying of the heat, but never, never falling down. The perspiration always flowing, searching for incodesty. Never knowing where we're going, crawling on Cretaceous reef. Of all expeditions I have seen, the best is no number 15. No, it's 42. And when we stop and talk of Selma's Morville chalk, I will say that I have been. Of all the gullies we've explored, Herald Station, we loved you more. And much to our delight, the little crab, it go pinch, pinch. And the ammonite, the little round thing, it's a thing. Even better than before. Yes, yes. Done. There you go. Morville.
Excellent,
I
Todd.
love it.
You gotta roll the more.
Morville.
So I was reading on the original copy here that in fact the words were penned by Bob Pascal in partnership with Jim Hamilton. So Jim Hamilton gets credit for some of this as well, no doubt. And I hope Jim enjoyed the alternate interpretation there. That was awesome, Todd.
That's so good.
I want to say something about why we started the Songbook is because there were so many great songs that we were singing during the summers that others were writing and stuff. And John Hall knew a lot of songs that he knew opera songs, Broadway songs, Army songs, all sorts of songs, and would try to show them or sing them on Friday nights. And so we decided to start to put these things together. And we know these songs are meaningful to a lot of people. And if you were on Expedition 20 in Macon County, you will remember that if you sit on the back of the trucks or as a thunderstorm starts to roll in from the east
By the river.
by the Halipus River, if you sing loud enough and off key the song of Ghost Riders in the Sky, you can make the storm go around you so you can go swimming. Not only did it work once, it worked twice. It has to be loud and off key for it to work.
I feel like, Todd, I think in the last couple of years, we've been singing that song at the wrong time.
Yeah. I don't think we ever sing it on key either, that's for sure.
So yeah, maybe next time, we'll have to make sure a storm is present next time. We just sing.
Aren't they always present?
I mean, that's very true. You are not wrong. Well, I think this is about the end of our time. So I wanted to say thank you to everyone. I know I really enjoyed it. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us. Todd, thank you for joining us and doing dramatic reading.
Yes.
It's very, very much happier to be doing it here in the bedroom than out in the middle of June. So yeah, I'm happy.
Well, someone said that they saw a song on the index. I only copied the pages that we were going to use for the songs today, so that's not the complete songbook, but we've got plans to try to, I want to be sure to cover those pages. We've got plans to try to make that a virtual resource that you can access in the future. So right now, the one that you guys have, that PDF, is just the songs that we were going to sing tonight, not the whole thing. But hopefully we can get to the whole thing pretty soon. All right, thank you, singers.
Thank you. We enjoyed it. Thank everybody for tuning in. And thank you, Todd.
This is the last live stream of Expedition 42. It's time to pack up camp, which will take us a lot less time than actual camp. And then go on our merry way.
Maybe we should do the expedition wake up to say bye to everybody.
We could do that. That's a good idea, Todd. Do you guys like the Expedition Wake Up song?
Oh, way up in the sky where the big.
Yep.
Yes.
Should we do that at the end? Here, maybe do you have your books? Does everyone have a
Do you
book?
want us to do the motions?
Up in the sky.
All right. Captain, motions. I didn't know, Todd, did you know that there were motions?
I didn't know there were motions because we were too busy like banging things and screaming.
That's true. We were very busy. So motions will be had by Rosa and
Way up in the sky, big birdies fly.
All right, so we're gonna do our final goodbye song. Oh my goodness, sorry about the shaky thing. We're gonna do our
Do you
final
remember
goodbye
it,
song, and then we're gonna be done
You
with
will.
the broadcast. So
You will.
thank you again for being part of it. The faces in that thing. Thank you again for being part of it. Thank you for joining us for all of Museum Expedition 42. And we hope to see you soon. And if you were looking for more digital content and you like this kind of thing, the Alabama Museum of Natural History, the Tuscaloosa Public Library, and the Mildred Westerville Warner Transportation Museum will be presenting Bama Bug Fest starting in July. So keep an eye out for that. All right, here we go for our final goodbye song. I hope everyone has a good night. All right, here we go.
And a one and a two. Up in the sky, big birdies fly. Down in the nest, the little birdies rest. Shh. They're sleeping. The sun rises up, the dew goes away. Good morning, the little birdies.
Sorry, Todd. Thank you, Todd, for keeping us on track.
Thanks for closing the gap
I
there,
think there was
Todd.
another verse.
Good to see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know, maybe that's